Hey guys, welcome back to Defense in Heels. This is the new platform to market all things social media, but most importantly, women's self-defense. And I have the awesome Steve Cardian online with us. You guys can see his amazing picture there. And he wrote this amazing book we're going to talk about here in a minute. But Steve, thank you for coming on and in the middle of your vacation too.
Well, it's not really a vacation. It's it's an 8 bridges swim. So we start in the Catskills and they go all the way down to the Verrazano Bridge. So these are world-class swimmers, open water swimmers. So that's the event. It's not really vacation, but
yeah, that still sounds
fun.
Nice to be away from home for a little while at least.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, Steve and I have been working together for a few years now. He has the amazing Defend University program, and I am one of his certified instructors out here on the West Coast. Steve, tell us a little bit about Defend University.
Well, we've recently changed to the Jiu-Jitsu program. Defend University was a research and development group dedicated itself towards leading-edge, cutting-edge technology in the area of women's safety, law enforcement, and the general public. But we've specialized now that we've converted to the Jiu-Jitsu program. It's more about a movement rather than just a program.
Definitely. I love it. And you're starting to get a bigger presence now with the Jane Jiu-Jitsu as well.
Well, I think the book had a lot to do with it too. It's been featured on Dr. Oz, Inside Edition, Fox and Friends, and a variety of other venues. So we're blessed. Not only have been picked up by Simon & Schuster, but to get the kind of attention that it really needs to get the word out there.
Definitely. And unfortunately, in this day and age, people don't actually think that women's self-defense is something that we need to focus on until something happens. So what do you think we could do to get more of the word out there that women need to protect themselves long before something happens to them or somebody close to them?
Yeah, well, there's no single one thing that you could pick that's really going to do the trick. It's a combination of a variety of things, such as being in touch with your intuition, knowing or learning about what it is that the predator looks for. You've seen some of my videos, social experiments. I've got 21 out of 21 women compromised. If it had been a real crime, their safety would have completely been compromised.
Definitely that 7-second rule.
Yeah, the 7-second rule, and creating a blueprint for a plan of action. Identifying your places where you could be in the most danger. So it's a multifaceted project, and the book pretty much covers everything that you'll need to know.
It really does, and I just skimmed through it again this weekend. This will be my 3rd or 4th time reading it now, and it's amazing how easily you just laid this all out. And it's not just, okay, this is what you should do. It's, this is what you should do, this is how to do it, and here's the resources that follow with it.
Well, some call it the Encyclopedia of Safety, so I'm really happy with the work that we did along with my writer, and she did an amazing job. But it's meant to be something that's referred back to if you're going to go on vacation, if you're going to do spring break, if you're going, or your child or you are going off to college. So it has a lot of solutions to many of the problems that not only women but men face as well.
Correct, definitely. And you had different things in there too that women need to look out for. I mean, even just walking to your car, most people don't think of all the different things that you need to pay attention to when walking to your car.
Well, we want them to employ not only awareness, but situational awareness. When you're going from point to point, if you're walking out of your workplace and going to your car, or going from your car into a store, we'll say, you want to have your head on a swivel. You want to scan around, look for the anomalies, the things that might be out of place, somebody that just doesn't look right, somebody that maybe gives you that uncomfortable feeling. These are the things that you want to watch for in your daily life.
Definitely. And you talked about the intuition and the uncomfortableness. And I know as a woman, and you and I have discussed this many times, women don't actually pay attention to their intuition. And we've talked previously, years back, about the Gift of Fear book and how your book is kind of taking it to the next step. And you've even broken down different techniques and what to look for in your body that describe what an intuition is to a woman who has no clue what it is.
Yeah, it's that sense of foreboding. It's that tickle in your gut. It's that little scratch in your throat, the hair going up on the back of your neck. You have the vagus nerve that runs through your body, and it reaches through every organ in your body as well. So there is a connection, a gut-brain connection.
Right.
And it takes some doing life experience as a part of being in touch with your intuition, getting in touch with your intuition, and staying in touch with it. But women, I believe, have the greater gift, because in every society throughout the world, men are more violent than women. Although the statistical data will show that it's about 50-50. But my feeling is they have a better gift of intuition. However, there's sometimes they will put it aside.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And even with all that statistical data, it's just what is reported as well. And we both know that a lot of crimes aren't actually reported. Now, what would you suggest for a woman who feels that she shouldn't report something or doesn't know if she should? What do you think she should do?
Well, for example, we're coming into a new college year. We just finished up 2018. We'll be going into the fall of 2018. 95% of sexual assaults that occur on a college campus go unreported.
Correct.
So that is to the authorities. They'll likely tell somebody they know or someone they trust, but it won't get reported to the authorities. It's a personal choice. Even if me as a police officer, if I showed up, the hospital called and said a woman had been sexually assaulted, if she says, I don't want to do anything or I don't want to make a report,
there's nothing we can do.
It's not a mandatory reporting process.
Exactly. And in that case, too, I've even had where certain colleges have chosen not to report. And then you even talk about that in your book, how there's actually a law that they have to report that now. So what do you suggest as a parent they should do if they're looking into different colleges?
Well, visit the college. Speak with the campus security. Take a ride around the college campus. There's many beautiful campuses that are surrounded by challenging areas. You have there's the statistical report that the Clery Act mandates that they report crimes in and about the campus, and you also have Title IX. So Google the college that you're going to be going to, and look for statistical data that would indicate that there is a problem either on the campus or in an adjacent area.
Definitely. And then let's talk a little bit about what women should carry. So I know that self-defense training is number one. Well, actually, I'd say mindset training is number one and awareness training. But then going into carrying something, most of these women don't even realize that their purse can be used as a weapon or the pen in their pocket, let alone all the really fun stuff that you and I like to play with when we start getting into knives and tasers and pepper spray and all the crazy stuff. If you had one thing that you had to say every college girl needs to carry, what would you say that would be?
Well, first, whatever you choose, I would say practice with it over and over and over, so it becomes a reactionary thing. In the book, I did a lot of research on the available weapons that are out there, and I like the DAD Tiger Light, the Defense Alert Device. It wraps in your hand. It's there. We have an autonomic response where if we get frightened, our hands open. So if you've ever been somebody snuck up on you, you might drop what you're holding. There it's in your hand, and it helps with the fine motor skills of using pepper spray by having it in your hand like that. It can be used as a blunt instrument, a flashlight, and the GPS alert, certainly, to notify the people on your contact list.
Definitely. And actually, you made me think of fight, flight, and freeze. So I know it takes a lot of muscle memory for anything we do at all, whether it's the self-defense training, using a weapon, or even just not getting scared by your husband. So what would you suggest for women to do to work through that freeze aspect and to get more into the fight or flight?
Well, the more you're able to control your adrenal response, the better off you're going to be. When you reach 115 beats per minute, you lose your fine motor skills. Upwards towards 145, you lose your complex motor skills, which we see many martial arts comprised of that require 2-3 movements. So by putting yourself in a reality-based scenario and working through it repetitively, you'll be better able to control that adrenal response. And those that are able to do that, that's why we go from learning the technique to walkthroughs to actually employing the fist suit. It makes it as real as it can get.
Definitely. I totally agree 100%. And it's a use or lose skill too. If you don't practice it all the time, you're going to completely forget it.
Yeah, well, there becomes, it takes 100 repetitions for an engram to be, begin where your nervous system is reacting to what you're doing. And it takes thousands of repetitions to master something. So the more you do practice, the more you visualize, the better off you're going to be.
Definitely. Awesome. Well, hey guys, we're going to take a quick break and then we will be back again with Steve Kardian and talking about his awesome book that you guys all need to check out. We'll be right back.